Hey there, I'm James McKinnon, and that's Dago, and you're listening to This Indie Life. This Indie Life follows the journey of two indie hackers as we navigate the good, bad and the ugly, attempting to turn our indie hacker dreams into reality. Each week you can tune in to see what progress we've made to achieve those dreams. Dago runs a logo generator business called Logology and a Twitter course called Dominate Twitter. I run a podcast production business called Podpanda, and I'm trying to grow my leather wallet side project, Whitstable Craft Co. If you're listening on audio, the podcast is now on YouTube, so you can see us in glorious high definition. The link will be in the show notes. And in this episode, Dago talks about his impromptu Twitter hiatus and shares some absolute nuggets of wisdom from his course. I am back on my feet after a down period over Christmas, but after selling some bifold wallets, I feel great. And I also tried to convince Dago why he should do some exercise. Let's get into it. Okay. So what have you been up to this week?
So this week, I haven't tweeted. The last time I had a tweet hiding session was in November. And since then, I've been kind of burned out and trying to find my rhythm again after pushing so hard on the course. I did a break at Christmas, but then the week before Christmas and the week when I came back after the break, my tweets, they're boring. They're not high quality. And man, it was so depressing to get way less likes than usual and feel like people are not invested as much, even though I get the impressions. Because I check my stats and all. So I see it's only just the quality. And it's depressing. I'm I don't want to be posting low quality just to post shit. So yeah, I stopped tweeting a couple of days ago to finish what I had to do, and set up in motion what I had to set in motion. And then, next week I'm going to do a full week writing session again. And then I'm going to have amazing tweets and I'm going to be proud of it again. And I'm going to have higher engagement and be happy. But yeah, it's hard for me, but I kind of let go of okay, fuck that. I'm not going to bore people with mediocre tweets.
Did you take a break this week then from work?
No, I just I feel like it's not really, there's a bit of burnout, but it's mostly, I think, not being clear on where I'm going. Because so many things going on. There's the course. I had some ideas to keep improving the course, but I'm okay, I can just stop improving this shit. It's good enough. And wanting to do Logology version 2, wanting to write tweets, having all the errands to run with my companies, to my company, the accounting, all the shit that I haven't been doing this past few months because I was head on the course. So yeah, there's basically when I get too many things, I get lost and I lose direction. And when I lose direction, I lose productivity and I burn out quickly. So I was okay, I need to take a break. I need to fix this. So I'm getting rid of all the shit I have let, slide for the past few months, accounting, all the stuff like this, and writing a good 2 months of content ahead of time, writing 2 months of tweets, 2 months of memes, and being ready. And now I'm done with the course, at least, this version. I will probably do some small updates, but, that would be a few times a year. So yeah, so now I feel way better. That's why I feel relaxed today, on this pod. I'm okay, I can do something else now.
So next week, are you back on with writing your tweets? And you say you're going to do 2 months of content. What are you going to be doing differently for your tweets?
So that's already what I usually do, which is I write 2 months of content ahead of time. It's basically just go all in for 1 week and write a ton of stuff. I'm going to do a bit differently. I'm going to try to bring more value with threads. I'm always been scared of threads because it seems it's a growth hack, it's a tactic. It's not, most threads, are boring as shit. But at the same time, I did 2 threads in my entire Twitter lifetime. And every time people really loved it. And it's not because it's a hack, it's because it's a different way of bringing value. So I have some long form kind of content I want to bring value about. My entire strategy for how I launched my course, from beginning to end, which I think a lot of people wanted to know how, because I got successful. So this could be a good thread. I'm going to do a few meme threads also, because it's always fun. And I had one which was incredibly popular a few months back. So I'm going to do a couple ones more. And also I'm going to do more, because, when I started tweeting, I was doing a lot of long tweets, story tweets that I call them. And I feel now that I have more followers, people don't want that for me as much. But now if I do that, it seems I lose people. It's I feel I need to own that I'm in a bit higher position. So people want advice from me now, not just like, and it's like, it's hard for me, but I'm going to try because like, I feel like I can do short tweets, kind of more like influencer type tweets, like platitude shit, but like better. And I'm going to try to do that, but like with quality.
And on your point about the story tweets not working as well as they used to, do you think that's partly because people know you more for the memes or have followed you for the meme funny stuff? So the story-based stuff isn't that interesting to them?
I'm not sure because the memes, I've been doing it for so long and it wasn't a problem before. Like I used to have lots of engagement on my story tweets, even when I was already meme guy. There's always a factor of social behavior of humans. And when you see someone with X number of followers, it impacts you in a different way. Like if you see someone with 100 followers tweet something, it's not the same impact and perception as someone with 50K. And that's just like, and that's way bigger than I thought. When I started getting more followers, I noticed that. I noticed how reaching 10K, for example, was the biggest change in how people perceive me. Like it was crazy. Like it's just like the number of sales of my product just like improved overnight because people thought I was more credible because of 10K. When I started tweeting, I was deep into logology, building that, with the pain of that. So whatever I was tweeting was very deeply felt. That was just me. And I feel like now I've refined the art of tweeting so much that it's a bit less spontaneous. And because of that, it's a very subtle thing, but I think it resonates less with people because it's less, you can feel that it's a bit like rehashed stuff that I already said last year. Last year I was living through stuff and I was tweeting about it and it was real and it was raw and it was awesome and it resonated. And now I'm basically like rehashing the same shit. And I think people can tell. I think you can't bullshit people. And I'm not trying to bullshit them. I'm just trying to produce content. But like, I can tell that what's going to help me the most is start working again. Stop spending all my time fucking tweeting and start building Logology version 2. Start getting failures again. Start getting my face, start getting slapped again by reality and have stories to tell. Because I think like it's better if I spend my time building or like experiencing shit and then tweeting about it than if I just, like I did for the past year, just spend all of my time tweeting at the end I have literally nothing new to say. So it's just boring shit. Even though I have all this amazing strategy, if it's boring, it's boring.
Dago, that's such a good meta-analysis of yourself and your tweets. When was the last time you spontaneously tweeted something? Like literally opened the app and wrote a thought and press tweet?
Oh shit, I literally can't tell you. I mean,
because that's how most people tweet, like me included, and it's fun when I get into just having a thought, tweeting it, figuring out what gets likes, what doesn't. If it doesn't, don't do that sort of tweet again. I did a tweet this week promoting the podcast, and I don't know if you saw it, but I put a link in it. And did you retweet it?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I retweeted. Yeah.
And I want to know, Dago, how do I share the pod without putting a link in the tweet? Because I was thinking, because I had your voice in my head as I was tweeting it, like, don't put a link, don't put a link. And the alternative was tweet and then like below that in the thread put a link. Is that the done thing? And like when I was thinking that, I thought that seems so silly because then people would have to like click on it and then go to, just because I'm trying to trick the algorithm.
It's not a hard rule. You can put a link. I think what happens is it's not so much that the tweet gets hidden or anything like that. It's just that if you put a link, people will click on the link, then they will visit the link, and they will not engage with your tweet. And because they don't engage with your tweet, it doesn't give it more visibility and it dies. So you need to find a way that with or without a link, they engage with the tweet. So there are multiple ways. The first way is you can make a very engaging tweet without the link. So the tweet itself is very interesting and makes people curious. And then add it as a follow-up tweet like you suggested. But because you made the tweet interesting and make people curious, then it works because they want to engage. And then they're curious enough to check it out. And the second way is something I did for Black Friday of my course is I wanted to have the link because I want a lot of people to see it. And I said, It was basically 40% off. And if you retweet it, I give you 60% off. And that was a way of like, even if you visit the link, you have an incentive to, engage with the tweet and boost it. So that was another way. But like generally, my approach is usually not that. It's like that was just exceptional for Black Friday stuff. But my approach is usually to just have the link in my bio and then make people curious. I'd be like, hey, here's a new episode of my podcast doing this, and that. Awesome. And that's something, and if you don't put a link, that's something people will engage with because they want to support you. They think it's nice. And if they're curious enough, they're going to click on your face and go to your profile and see the link. Okay, and by doing so, you get more engagement and you get more visibility and you make up for it that way.
I wonder how video clips of the show would perform. I've always been resistant to putting video clips on Twitter. I just feel like for like my own behavior on Twitter, when I'm scrolling through, I rarely want to stop and watch even a 30-second clip.
I was invited to a podcast 2 years ago, and he did small video clips, like very small, like 15 seconds. And also there was like subtitles, highly visible. And I remember there was a clip of me actually talking about the Twitter algorithm already. And he put it on Twitter and it got like 150 likes because it was interesting, it was valuable, it was cool. And he got tons of listeners. So I'm thinking if you can get like a 15 seconds bite of the show with like subtitles and a cool bit, that will probably do well. Yeah, I think it does well. But you need subtitles because else people will listen. 100%. And it needs to be short. But if you do that, it can be a great way to make people want to tune in, I would think.
Okay, I'll try that. I will try that with this show.
So let's talk about your stuff now. So how is it going this week after you committed to have like a year of waking up early, going to the gym, getting shit done, and being a perfect person?
The first goal for me was get up early and set a routine, and I've done that every day. And it's been great. I love getting up early. That time between like 5 a.m. when I wake up and like 8 or 9 a.m., I get so much more done. So if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have published the episode of This Indie Life. I wouldn't have published my client podcast. It's just that time where I'm just way more focused. And that way I've got like this 4 hours of doing work where even if I don't do anything for the rest of the day from 9 a.m., I'm fine. And
that's awesome.
That little switch has been good. And it's made me realize I've got way too much on my plate, that I want to do too much and I can't really work 12-hour days. I'm just not wired for it. So what I'm trying to do is just focus on getting up early, doing that work in the morning, and just being not too harsh on myself if I don't get the other things done. Like number one, client work, which has actually been going great, and I'll tell you about that. 2 is the pods, or like it jumps above that if I've got wallet orders to do. They go first, which I kind of have got a lot of. The working out, I've been twice and I'm struggling to put it into my routine. The worst thing is when I wake up planning to go to the gym and it's raining outside. And because I don't have a car, I make an excuse. Well, I don't want to cycle in the rain and the wet and the wind to get to the gym. Yeah. I've been going with my friend whenever he does it because he has a car. But
it's never clear to me the motivation to work out. What's your main motivation to work out? Because like my motivation for a while was like, I'm going to get harder, more attractive, and I'm going to get laid more. But this doesn't work when you're happily married.
That sort of external motivation doesn't always keep people going to the gym as well. It's what like motivates you intrinsically to want to train. And the main thing is I just feel better when I do it. I don't enjoy the gym being a thing. I don't enjoy it when I'm there. I enjoy like the feeling of progress. I enjoy the fact that I'm like making my body better, but I feel better in myself when I do it. It's just I struggle to motivate myself. It's like the self-sabotage thing. I know what will make me feel better, but I don't always do it.
Yeah, but like that's my point. Like it's like the worst kind of motivation, at least for me. Like I'm gonna do this because it makes me I know it's good for me. Like it's like eating vegetables. Yeah, sure, but what are you gonna actually do? What's your plan when somebody shows you a plate of fries? And you have to say no. What's your plan? What's your motivation? Because like saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna feel better in my health." That's like I never resonated with that.
Yeah, dude, that in those circumstances, you've got to think more long term. And it's like part of the reason I feel so shit most of the time is because I'm not very good at thinking long term and out of those decisions. I'm not very good when there's a burger in front of me or on the cards to think, actually, if I have this or if I don't go to the gym today, I'm going to feel bad. And I'm not thinking on the days that I'm feeling really bad, and for you, the days when you're stressed, that actually, is this because I'm not working out regularly? I'm not moving my body. I'm not eating right. There's probably all of these things that we're not thinking of in the moment.
I never could motivate myself with that.
Here's a motivation for me personally on losing weight. So not just going to the gym to get strong. I have put on so much weight in the last 2 years. And I don't like it when I look in the mirror. I don't like it when I like walk past the shop window. I'm like, shit, that's a fat guy. And it hit me once when I was playing football and this football match was being filmed, and I was watching back one of the clips and I was like, oh, look at that. They've got a fat guy on their team. And then I realized it was me. I was like, I was the fat guy. It happened to me. And I've never been the fat guy.
Yeah, that's the worst.
So I don't like that
strongest motivation
feeling
for me when I realized I was a fat guy, like in my teens. Shit.
So that's part of the reason I want to train and be healthier. Feeling and not wanting to be the fat guy anymore. I'm like 25. I should be taking better care of my body. Like when you get older, like you have more health problems. I don't have that, and I take it for granted that I don't have those things. And so like I should make the most of it.
Wow, I just got shocked that you're 25 because I never remember. And I'm like, shit, I'm old. What have I done with my life? I'm not ahead of James enough. I'm 8 years older. I should be way ahead of James. What the fuck? You know, like I should, like my competitive side thinks like, wait, am I a loser? Am I like, I need to be better. I need to, you know what I mean? It's like,
I feel the exact same way about people my age or younger, or even people that are slightly older than me who from the outside look successful or fit and healthy. I look at my bank balance and I get so annoyed that after having worked for 7 years, I still have no fucking money. And I was like, when I was younger, Dago, I was way ahead of everyone else because I came out of school and went straight into working, and I didn't go to uni. So I didn't have this like lag. I went straight into earning money. And every year I was getting like a $5,000 pay rise. And I was like, the trajectory I'm on, I'm going to be earning 60, 70, 80,000. I'm going to be like a marketing director by the time I'm 26, like one of these. And then it just sort of stalled at 22. And I didn't really go any further from that. So I have this like chip on my shoulder and massive frustration that I didn't carry on that trajectory when I started working for myself. And I get like frustrated about that every day. I wanted to be way more successful by this point because I know I have the potential to do it. And I've always believed that. But on a day to day, I don't take the actions to back that up. Another thing for me that happened this week that I did, and it was sort of out of the blue. I've got plans to add new products to the wallet store, to Whitsville Craft Co, expand just beyond the small card holders. And so I made the first iteration of a bifold wallet, a more traditional wallet in the sense of it. I just made one. I put it out on Twitter, just a picture, like in my hand after I'd done it, saying, does anyone want this bifold? I'll sell it at cost. I'm going to put it up for £135.
Yeah, I saw that like $40.
Yeah, exactly. And like the tweet didn't do massively well, but immediately someone DM'd me saying, I'd love to test the wallet. I've wanted a bifold. How can I pay? I was like, great, cool. Sent them a link. They bought it within 3 minutes of me putting that tweet out. It was unbelievable and just made me incredibly grateful for Twitter. And then Dago, over the next few hours, I just kept getting DMs from people. In fact, it was the next hour I was getting DMs from people saying, oh, James, like I've always wanted one of your wallets. I've been seeing what you were doing, but I wanted something bigger or more traditional. Would love to test it out. And then someone actually said I would pay more for it. Like, can you put it at £75? So I did, and he bought it. And the other people who were interested, I said, I've put the price up to £75. Is that still okay? They're like, yep. And I sold 5 of them. So it's actually my most expensive wallet ever, and it's still a prototype.
It's the best, dude. I'm so happy because like that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of this process of like connecting with people, building a small or big audience, and then just sharing your stuff and seeing instantly if people want it, and they do. And like if they don't, you avoid wasting time, and if they do, it's so motivating. I bet you feel super motivated to do it now and super excited about it.
Absolutely.
Right? Because they validated with their money, so it's done now. You know it's going to be a successful product. So how is it going with client work?
Since I put the New Year's year in review post out, I had 2 potential clients reach out who I had calls with, and they were very much open to working together. And it didn't feel like I was having to pitch, which was nice. It was very much they've seen the work, they've listened to the pods, and they want to start one, and they're ready to go ahead. And that was another really nice validating feeling. Having gone from feeling really down to work just sort of coming to me as opposed to me having to do cold outreach, felt really nice at a point where I was really down. Part of my goal this year is to have a small amount of clients that I really enjoy working deeply with, as opposed to having lots that I just do light edits for. And then my big client, Uncensored CMO, the one that has gone all in on video. And it's funny thinking back to the start of this show when we were talking about it maybe happening. It's now very much happening. We've recorded 2 episodes now, and then the most recent one has shot the episode to number 2 in the marketing charts in the UK and the number 1 in Ireland. And there's been a load of buzz.
Number 2 marketing podcast in the UK. Wow.
Yeah, it's been nice to feel a bit of success for one of my clients, and again,
and for you, more. Dude, that's awesome.
So yeah, that's awesome. My week. Generally feeling a bit better, enjoying getting up early. Client work is going good. Money's still not great, but I just need to keep showing up and doing the work and working with my current clients and sell more wallets.
I'm so glad to know that the year for you starts with 6 wallet sales of the new product that you wanted to do.
I was worried that when the new year started, I wouldn't be able to replicate any of the wallet sales that I had last year, and it was just going to completely crash.
I know the feeling.
So it's nice that there has been something that has pushed it. I've made £500 this year in the last 10 days for the wallets, and
that's the best.
So yeah, it's cool. And I don't know if I don't want to say successfully. I've changed my persona away as much as I can, away from the podcasting and more to the leather wallets, and people seem to be buying into it and enjoying it.
Oh, nice. It's, I mean, it's just more interesting. We want to know about the guy doing wallets. It's just more exciting. It's like craftsman building stuff, even though you're not making much profit. So we don't, that's maybe not as profitable as the podcast for now. But yeah, that's just way more exciting because it's indie makers, startup founders, we all want to create stuff. So I feel and we all would like to do something like you do. So there's something exciting about it that you're doing it, even though it's probably, it's very tough.
Thank you, dude.
Cool.
All right, then, should we wrap it here?
Yeah, there's PhD game starting, so that's the perfect time for it. Okay,
thank you so much for listening to this episode of This Indie Life. I hope you enjoyed the chat between me and Dago here. If you have any questions or feedback, feel free to send us a message. We're on Twitter. Our handle is @IndieLifePod. I'll pop a link in the show notes for you. And don't forget, we're now on YouTube. You can watch the pod instead of listening to it. A reminder that link will be in the show notes also. That's all from me and Dago. Stay indie. James out.